podcast you cheer for. Sneaker, business, talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.
And welcome back to the podcast you cheer for, the Soul Material Podcast. I'm your man, the OGEO.
All right, it's T-Mark the Street Shark. We're here.
And we are embarking, believe it or not, on closing out a third season of us doing what we do. And that's giving you clarity over popularity. And as we do, if you are a fan of us or a new fan, we do the staple where we give our reflections and talk about things that have meant the world to us, just to reflect on the season and so forth. So, Shark, you want to kick us off with some of the things that have gone on that have touched you this year, and no matter if it's topics, subjects, things that have blessed us, so forth. Just kick it off, man, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, first of all, this is just one of those things where we just remain humble and blessed, and to be able to, turn a hobby into, just our passion. We got to go back to the exhibition, where we gave you first 4 episodes in a lump sum, and we weren't even. That was like Reasonable Doubt. It was meant to, if we never did anything ever again, those were going to stand alone, and be our time capsule. And we just keep growing. We promise you that we would, just put stuff out, and you're going to watch us grow. So hopefully, we've, from your perspective as our audience, that you've actually seen some of that growth transpire in front of you, whereas, through the format of our episodes, through the social media, with the evolution of our Instagram page. Season 3 was exclusive to our new YouTube channel as well. We've added some extra features. We strategically wanted to have something on each platform that the other platforms didn't have, because again, we know that our audience is coming from so many different places. And you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with the Soul Material Podcast. And not only do we want you to stay, we want you to learn. We want you to grow, and hope that you notice that and we were able to accomplish that. So just starting domestically, with some of our listeners, we get this, look at our statistics and see who's watching, who's listening, who's watching, and where you're at. So just wanted to just shout everybody out. This episode is for you, our audience. We're just showing love back to you all. So especially over the last year. Shout out to California. All right,
Consistency.
Oh, thank you. You know what I mean? Because you guys are top of the list when it comes to downloads to our podcast domestically in the United States. So we're not even from there. You know what I mean? But so all of our listeners in California, we love you. And of course the DMV, Maryland, Virginia, DC. You guys are right there because that's home base, right around the corner where it all starts. That's our identity, our logo is DMV inspired. So just shouting you out, of course. New York, you know what I mean? So OG, you got some new territory that you're covering too now. So shout out to our new family and friends in New York. Welcome to the podcast to cheer for. And then Florida surprised us because there was a lot of binge listening going on because you came in waves down in Florida. So we appreciate you down in Florida. Jersey, what's up, Jersey? That's on the other side of the bridge for the New York fam. Some of y'all might be traveling back and forth while you're listening. So either way, we appreciate you. How about this? Wisconsin, we got some cheeseheads. We appreciate you. If you listen between the lines, the Shark has some Wisconsin ties back to those old Green Bay Packers. So appreciate y'all. Massachusetts. All right, what's up, you Bears? How y'all doing up there? North Carolina, South Carolina, Thanks for holding it down. That's extended family in the Bible Belt down there. We got Pennsylvania. So it looks like it's both sides. From Pittsburgh all the way to Philly on the other side. So appreciate you, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Illinois, Alaska
Alaska.
popped up on the map. Alaska, thanks. If you listen to us, um, up there in Alaska. Wow, Kentucky, Louisiana, Oklahoma, South Dakota. What's up, South Dakota? And then we got Tennessee and Washington State, and then of course there's always unknown because we don't have everything to track everyone, but we wanted to make sure we were on as many podcast platforms to be where you are already at, so it's easier for you to find us rather than having one or two podcast platforms. So before I get into the world. It sounds like one of these FIBA, USA versus the world. But OG, just give you a chance to thank our fellow domestic listeners to the podcast you cheer for across the United States.
I mean, you called out all of the areas, and I just want to just send a sincere thank you for the consistency, as I shouted out a few minutes ago, because it's gotten to a point, Shark, that when we drop, I can almost have a guarantee of who our first 7 to 10 listeners are from, at least, because again, I guess like a good TV show or so forth, they look forward to us dropping and they are on it immediately. So with that being said, again, California, New York, DMV particularly, and again, whoever's taking road trips to Florida and doing the binge listening, we definitely appreciate you because that's happened a handful of times. And man, it's overwhelming when you actually sit back and sit down and say, someone's listening to me just regular old talk from everywhere. And again, man, the platform and the just the evolution of the internet, what we're able to do and how we're able to touch so many people. And we have been true to ourselves and our brand. And again, growing the right way. And that's one thing that I hold on to and that I enjoy and love most. And we are here for the long haul, and we're here to do things that Larry Brown, as he says, to do it the right way, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, just shout out to everybody listening, especially again domestically. Again, we're humbled. You know what I mean? So it's just always a pleasure to see where everyone's finding us and growing our audience. So we appreciate you. We actually tried to make it a little easier to stay up with us in season 3, where we
Mm.
changed the cadence of how we deliver the episode. So now we became, not only are we the podcast you cheer for, this is a tease for the future. We are the channel you cheer for because we're a channel now. With our YouTube being a channel, we literally program. So every Saturday morning, you knew you're getting a new episode, at least one new episode, with you know, some prizes in the cereal box, from the Soul Material podcast. We gave you some bundles so that you can do some on-demand listening before, but it was kind of, you didn't know when you were getting the next one. So we just wanted to make it a little more easier for your expectations, and make it easier for you to schedule your time, so you can get your Saturday morning on with us while you're getting yourself together, getting ready an hour before the 10 o'clock. That's why we strategically drop at 9 on Saturday morning, so it's an hour before the main sneaker releases for those Saturdays. You might be eating some cereal, you might be watching some cartoons or something. We want you to do all of those nostalgic things because that's part of our brand. So
Hmm.
that's some of the science between of why you get episodes every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and then you just go about your day. We're not trying to take your day from you. We want you to start your day with us, and hopefully you'll have an even better day by listening to the podcast. So if you didn't catch it on Saturday, we definitely saw that you all are listening on Sunday.
Definitely. No question.
So appreciate you. So now Let's go all around the world. All right. So let's just start north of the border. Shout out Canada, particularly Ontario. We see you a couple
Hmm.
times. You've been in the mix. Now I'm just gonna skip across the world. Like it's that Animaniacs episode. We just name all the
Definitely.
all the countries around the world. So shout out in Australia. We got New South Wales. We see you.
Hmm.
Appreciate you. We got we actually in Berlin, Germany. What's up,
Germany.
Berlin? We got
Hmm.
Hessen in there as well. So we got two different. We got East and West Germany. Listening to the Soul Material podcast. Who'd have thunk it, right? And now I'm going in order of most listenings around the world outside of the United States, besides those ones that I just said. Uh, Singapore, Singapore.
Hmm.
You're holding it down, especially in
Hmm.
the last couple months. So
Hmm.
shout out to Singapore, or more of our newish listeners, and continue to rock out with the channel you cheer for. All right, right after that we got Italy. All right. So Anthony, my namesake, thanks you for the country with the boot. So that makes sense with the footwear. Shout out to Italy. All right, now we got France. All right, right after that. So shout out to France. We love you, and then Canada in general, outside of Ontario, and then we have Chile. We have
Hmm.
the UK in general. We got Mexico in general, but then we got Colombia,
Hmm.
and we got Turkey, Russia, Pakistan, Panama, South Korea, Ecuador, Spain, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Island of Man. I don't know where that's at, but you know what? Appreciate you for being on the island and finding the podcast to cheer for. We got India, Kazakhstan. Sorry if I messed that one up. We got Puerto Rico, Taiwan, and rounded it off with Uruguay. All right, that
and
did sound like the the map. I needed the map to light up while I said those. So
and it's one
all
country I
around the
have that
world.
you don't have, Tony.
I missed one.
Puerto Rico.
Oh, I thought I said Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Yep.
So
Oh.
there you go. So wow, you know what I mean? Look at that. It's always amazing to see these new things pop up on the map when we're looking at the statistics. I'm always wondering like, how did you little old us again, we're putting more and more effort into making sure we're optimizing so that you can find us, so that you can search your whatever search engines that you're on, and we're more likely. So the more that you view, the more that you click and participate, the higher our actual Google score will be. So help us help you.
Hmm.
We're doing our due diligence to make sure that we're searchable at all times. You know what I'm saying? So just keep searching us a little bit more. Help us out, so we can beat the algorithm together. The more that we can do, the more that we can grow. The more that we grow, the more assets that we can do. We can provide more content and relevant content for our audience. So we appreciate you.
No question, because the game is not going to stop, and the issues that are going to continue to swirl. The culture is what it is, and as it evolves and changes, we're definitely going to have our perspectives and our views. And just thankfully that we are appreciated for, I'll say, just being old school in a lot of our demeanor and our process and how we do things. And I'm glad that kind of thing is still appreciated, given that everything that you mentioned before, Shark, is so clickbait and so cliffhangerish, and sometimes not even 100% truthful. It's just more about getting popularity and getting the hearts and getting the likes. And I'm just glad that, again, as I said before, um, you may be we may be EPMD, but we're not going for the crossover at all. So thanks to our fans for being loyal, and us again being true to ourselves, and you actually appreciating that and acknowledging that.
Yeah. So now, just shout out in general to our followers on our social media platform, our new YouTube channel that was exclusive to season 3. And you got some bonus episodes mixed in there. You got some unboxing episodes, and you got a a plethora of shorts as well, which are just reels like they are on Instagram. But we changed up the audio on some of those. So I gave different commentary on at least half of them. So always great to see those views continuing to pile up. And just shout out to our new followers that are continuing to come on. Like it's almost like every time we post something, we're getting a couple followers here or there.
Hmm.
And then same thing for Instagram. Shout out to our followers, especially our new followers that have been joining us over the last couple months after we've picked up some momentum with some things that you kind of that we've been playing around with, and then all of a sudden we could see, hey, you kind of like this, so let's just keep going, and do that. You're gonna see more unique content from us on our social media platforms in the future. But this was a great, learning lesson and evolving because these apps and everything updates every month. So it's just, always staying up to date with how things work. Because sometimes one thing could be successful one month and then all of a sudden because the rules or the back end logistics change and stuff that you don't even see,
Hmm.
just like a business account and a personal account on Instagram work out totally different. You know what I mean? So you don't even have some of the same options here or there. It's not even the same music selection
Hmm.
when we're trying to be creative with and provide content. All right, this isn't just saying stuff like we want to be. We're growing into content creators as well, so that we can maximize these platforms. So shout out to all of our followers. Shout out to every follower that's ever reposted us. Shout out to
Definitely.
everyone who's ever shared something of ours. And because a part of what we're doing is we're trying to build a community. All right, so it requires each one to teach one. Tell a friend. So that's part of that clarity over popularity. And that's a little, smart version of all the acquisition because we're genuine in what we do. But you gotta get to know us to know that because you're not gonna get any clickbait and
There you go.
just fake stories from us. Just
Hmm.
to we really live this stuff. Really worked in these industries,
Hmm.
and we really do have some of these contacts. So yeah, just shout out to all of our social media platform followers.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. You want to go into the brands that have supported us, particularly one that I'll have you just shout them out and give some of the details. But to Curry brand, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Shark, take it.
Go ahead and say your favorite word first. Well, the flow
See,
tro. Okay.
the retro flow truck,
You know what I'm saying?
Flotro
So
retro. Say it with
um
me now.
yeah, so you got that so shout out to Curry brand. We love the love that you showed us this year. We're looking forward to continuing and growing. As you grow, we want to grow. We want to be part of your just authentic network to communicate with the sneaker world and any other forms of media that we could be a part of for the future. But I think our goals, our mission, we're all aligned.
Mm,
It's changed the game for good,
indeed.
and that's what we're doing. Steph Curry, you're thinking about your future, and he's invested into the brand and in his namesake for a reason. And the philanthropic efforts that you're doing throughout the country, keep up the good work. If we could ever be a part of some community days or
Definitely.
anything like that,
We're
we'd
down.
love to
Four flats.
yeah, to join. And again, because it's all about, we've talked about philanthropy inside of business and
Hmm.
how there's a greater good that can be accomplished.
Always.
Because if you build and you give back to the community, it's going to be stronger, and they will give back to you ten
Hmm.
times over more than some leeching brand that just wants to suck the life out of you or take advantage of and be that culture vulture and just come in. And we know that Curry brand is not that.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate you. We appreciate you for sliding us one of the most exclusive packages of the year, which was the Curry 2 Mike Breen Bang package that, that some of that helped us propel, our social media and particularly our YouTube channel because we learned some of the constraints of Instagram that wouldn't let us be great in the beginning, but
And not only that, but we also learned that we had some haters that just wanted to question us as if they were, our parents all of a sudden. Like, how did this happen? How did you get this? I don't understand. Who are
yeah, I
you?
wasn't going to show them too much credence, but yes, it did happen. It happened on my personal page and the our Soul and Material account, where all of a sudden I
Wow.
thought it was interesting that some people just have something to say about how did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Hmm. Literally.
because I'm not just a regular person that's at LA Fitness filming
Mm,
videos with
mm,
sneakers. I
mm.
When we say we worked in the industry, when we say we get connections and build relationships, that's what this looks like. That's why we can start something brand new and then walk in with relationships because that relationship technically is 20 years old, but you just don't know it.
Mhm.
It's actually older than that, but you know what I mean? Like you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We might have actually worked with each other on other projects that are similar, and you never knew it was us
Mhm.
because we were never these thrill seekers. That's
There you
why
go.
part of our model is clarity over popularity.
Popularity.
We're not here for the fame. We're not here to just be some sneaker famous person. Like, it's just for the sake of being famous. You know what I mean? So like that's not what we're about. So again, appreciate you Curry brand. Can't wait for the Curry 11 and all the other releases that are coming out.
Indeed.
Thanks for the sneak peek because we've
Mhm.
already seen everything for the rest of the year. Really appreciate. We know things are coming. What's coming the next. Some of those images have already leaked or whatever. That's what's leaked is not really what's happening, but yeah. So can't wait for more partnerships, more. Endeavors. Maybe another brand pops up in the mix that we get to partner with too. But at the end of the day, we are just gonna keep up in the ante and making sure we do our due diligence to keep solidifying our brand and our business, so that when those opportunities knock on the door, we're ready and might see some branded, you know. At least some branded content for next season, where it's some strategic partnerships and may turn into some actual merchandise and
Understood.
looking at some other strategic partnerships to get our brand out there and get some maybe some apparel or something like that, add something to our shop and just get creative, and then also another tease, definitely exploring the options to you know have some commentary with some outsiders,
Insiders, outsiders.
insiders, outsiders, you know what I mean, other than the Shark and the OG,
Definitely.
try to see if we can, partner up and do some interviews, and really just again take it to the next level. So no promises that we're gonna keep the same format again. I think there's some pros and cons with everything that we do, so we just want to keep you locked in, engaged, and just look out for more newness. We're never going to do the same thing the same way anyway. That's part of our brand. We're always evolving. We're always about, so it's fluid. So keep coming along with this journey from with us. We've come a long way from WWE promo intros to have the theme music, to changing the theme music, to producing our own theme song for this season that was strategic. So we're always just pushing the envelope to separate ourselves from the Joe Schmoes, because everybody and their mama can have a podcast, but
Indeed.
um, is your podcast the podcast you cheer for? I
Indeed.
think not. So, any other words from you, OG? Just thanks and
No, just looking
being
forward
appreciative.
to us meeting and seeing again with the changes, not only with IG, but with YouTube, but pressing the envelope with our creativity, our innovation. And I'm looking forward to seeing how season 4 will present itself. And I'm just thrilled that post pandemic that we have been able to not only be sustainable, but you know, you your worst critic, Shark. I get it, but we have done extremely well given the way the world's opened back up. Because my fear, honestly, was that during the pandemic, everyone shut in. There was a peak for everyone to just be enclosed, listen to everything, watch everything. But once the world opened back up, um, I believe that the things that had some relevance and that were stable and that had some integral things with them kind of stood, and a whole lot of stuff kind of got swept away. You showed me an article a few weeks ago showing how many podcasts have either been canceled or canceled themselves, or just been gone the past year alone. And we're here. So with all of the medium platforms that we do have and so forth, we weren't just a pandemic thing. Of course, the idea came during that time, but I'm looking forward to us still doing what we do. And I said the game is going to be here, and so are you, and so am I. So with that being said, let us keep sharing to the world. Because as I said in the exhibition season, I think that our standard is key, and I think that we bring something that no one else brings to the game, and I'm just glad and proud of that. So with all of that being said, thank you to everyone, and I'm looking forward to season 4. No questions.
All right. Yeah, we gave you the tips on what to do when you go outside. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So hopefully we just stay locked in. Our DMV native Lethal Shooter always says, "Stay locked in." And we just want to keep growing. And maybe some more partnerships and things will come, and we're going to be pursuing a little bit more. But at the end of the day, um, Ah, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here
Hmm.
with us, and thank you, thank you, thank you. You're far too kind. And all that, cliche thank yous, just because, again, um, that's why we have all these staples, and we want to make sure that we want you to learn, we want you to grow, we want you to build with us. So as much as you've gotten to know us, we love getting to know our audience. So keep commenting, keep sharing, and letting us know what we like. What you like, you know what I'm saying? I love getting the comments saying, "Keep going, another one." You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like those things are just sometimes it's just the affirmation. Like as much as we come up with ideas and things like that, it's just sweeter when you get the affirmation sometimes to just be like, "Yeah, that was cool,"
Hmm.
or when someone sends you a comment, or some of our extended circle where we exchange commentary on, like, "Yo, this episode really meant something to me. I talked to my son about this, or I talked to so and so about that, and put him on the game because y'all put me on the game." Like, so we just love hearing those type of things where it's like that ripple effect, and
Definitely.
and that's what we want to do. We want to change the game for good. We want to have an impact on this community, because we're not here to take from it. We're here to share, give back, and um, plant those seeds so that the next wave and generation can have a fruitful experience like we did, and get something out of it, and it's genuine and it's sustainable for their kids and everything like that. So great way to wrap up
Definitely.
for season 3. Just being humble. Thank you all to our audience all around the world. And so we're just gonna take a little break. You're gonna see some content on the social media platforms, but as far as the regular episodes, this one's the last one for season 3. So we're gonna take a break, from all hard work. If you notice, we're mirroring some of the NBA season, so that's why we're wrapping up.
Hmm.
But we got the minimum of 40 podcast episodes are now in the books for season 3.
Crazy.
And so look, we basically doubled our output
Hmm.
from the last time, and gave you even more bonus stuff. So again, we're just gonna take our break so that we can recharge, come up with some new ideas, and then you'll see us in a little while, as we around training camp time. Right before then, you'll see season 4. We'll hit you at the end around September, before going into
Indeed.
October,
Indeed.
you'll see some more episodes from us. But in the meantime, stay locked into like and share to our social media pages. We'll stay engaged with you, and just get ready for the next season. I'm excited. Appreciate you, OG, my co-host over here. This journey is not a straight line. You know what I'm saying? But well, this started from a conversation in the car, practicing the auto acquisition, and that's why we say in real life, this is what we do. We live in it. So, you know, signing off
Signing off.
for season
Season
3.
3.
Yeah,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
that's your T Mark the Street Shark.
OGDEO until season 4. See ya.
See ya. The podcast you cheer for is the channel you cheer for. See you when we see you.
Yay, yay.